Hi guys, today I will show you how to make this crochet hat. It's a quick project and can be made in any size. I made mine in size S for an adult. Here's how the hat looks on the inside. For this project I used Aran yarn which I bought at Lidl. My size S hat required approximately 132 meters and it's 144 yards of yarn. The package recommends a 5mm crochet hook, but I used a 4.5mm crochet hook instead. By the way, I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of this yarn. Materials. Aran yarn, you can also use a double knit yarn. Depending on the size, you will need more or less yarn. The largest size requires around 175 yards. The smallest size takes around 100 yards. A 4.5mm crochet hook, tapestry needle, scissor and stitch marker. We will begin with a foundation chain. Leave a slightly longer tail at the start so it's easier to weave in later. The best way to ensure the right fit is to crochet for someone who is nearby, so you can check the length as you go. However, if you are making this as a surprise, here's a guide with the recommended chain length for different age groups. Keep in mind that these numbers are based on using a 4.5mm crochet hook. If you are using a larger or smaller hook, the stitch count will be different. And one more thing, these numbers are just averages. Everyone has a different head size, so if you are making this for your teenage niece and she has a larger head than usual for her age, consider making the adult size S for her. Okay, I will start in the second chain. I will make one slip stitch in the next 5 chains. If your foundation chain is shorter than 30, then I recommend to make just 4 slip stitches. You can place the stitch marker onto the 5th stitch mate. And now make one single crochet into each chain until end of row number 1. And when finished, chain 1 and turn your work. And let's start row number 2. And from now we will start to work in the back loops only. Okay, so we will insert our hook here in those back loops. We will make one single crochet into the first 2 stitches in the back loops only. And now we will make a bubble stitch in the next stitch, then single crochet and bubble stitch in the next stitch. Okay? How to make a bubble. Yarn over, insert your hook into the back loops of the next stitch. Yarn over, pull up the loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through first 2 loops. And you have now 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop. You have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up the loop. You have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops. You have 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. Now make a single crochet into the next stitch and another bubble into the next stitch. Remember, we are working in the back loops only. Yarn over, pull through all the loops. Make one single crochet into each stitch in the back loops until you reach the stitch marker or until you reach the 5th stitch from the end. Make one slip stitch into each stitch until end of the row. Chain 1, turn your work, and we are ready to start row number 3. We will start with the 1 slip stitch into next 5 stitches. Start in the first stitch. So this is your first slip stitch, second slip stitch, third, fourth, and the last slip stitch. And you can place the marker onto the last slip stitch, and now make one single crochet into each stitch in the back loops only until end of the row. Chain 1, turn your work, and let's start row number 4. We will start it with one single crochet into the first 2 stitches. And now we will make a bubble into the next stitch. A single crochet into the next stitch. Remember, we are still working in the back loops. And another bubble into the next stitch. So we start the row with 2 single crochets, then bubble, single crochet, bubble. And now make one single crochet into each stitch until you reach the 5th stitch from the end or stitch marker. And make one slip stitch into the last 5 stitches. Chain 1, turn your work, and repeat rows 3 and 4 as many times as you need. For each size you will need a different number of rows. The best way is to check the fit on the head, but if that's not possible, you can look up the average head width on Google. My hat has 53 rows. If you want, you can even out the bottom edge by making 2 single crochets in every other row. I personally don't do it because I like the natural finish, but you can do it if you want. Okay, cut the yarn leaving about 16 inches, it's 40 centimeters tail. Fold the hat in half with the wrong side facing out. Thread the tail onto the needle and start to sewing these 2 sides of the hat. Okay, so on the one side, insert the needle under the foundation chain. And on the other side, insert the needle under the stitch bot loops and pull. I will start from the other side now. So insert your needle under the bot stitch and then under the foundation stitch. Try not to skip any stitches or the seam will be uneven. Continue until end. Okay, I've done. Now we need to make a knot, and don't skip this step. You need to do this knot. Next, thread the needle and the yarn through every other row at the top of the hat. So here, 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 okay? And pull and insert into the next and pull. Next and pull. You can also put it tight as you go. So continue that all around. And finally, you can close the opening completely. Don't pull too hard or the yarn might snap. Make a few extra knots to secure the closure, but try to insert the needle into the first stitches so the yarn isn't visible from the outside. And now secure the tail. Cut the yarn. And that's it. Wave in all the ends. If you would like to see how to make a pom-pom, click here. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.